We are in the Windy Gap area, the Big Tonga Canyon area of the Angeles National Forest. Yesterday morning, it started cresting over, I would say about 10:30, and then throughout the day it made a strong push and then has jumped Highway 2. Mount Wilson itself right now is still putting in some containment line, doing some strategic firing, and there's a lot of apparatus, and so the goal is to really not impair the firefighting operation there. So we are trying to get as much access as we can because the story is fantastic how these fighters did outstanding work yesterday. So the goal is to try to tell that story to the best possible. In 2009, the station fire burned through the Mount Wilson area and also another 135,000 acres, and so that scar has impeded or slowed down the growth of the Bobcat fire. And so due to the great work by Mount Wilson Observatory and doing their defensive space and our firefighters, it's looking really good that all the infrastructure and the observatory itself, it will be spared from any destruction. Mount Wilson Observatory hasn't really burned or been affected by fire in at least the last 20 years. Every major news media has some kind of tower or communications there, cell phones, government agencies, you name it, it's probably there. The acreage hasn't increased dramatically per se. It's at a steady growth. So right now, today on Wednesday, it is about 44,000 acres, and it remains 3% contained. But that should change soon as we start to stabilize this fire more. The number of personnel has grown significantly. From this time last week, we had about 500 personnel, and today we have about 1,100. And that number will probably keep growing every day. October 30th or 31st, we are expecting full containment, and that's just basically due to the fact that this fire is 44,000 acres, and that doesn't necessarily mean that there will be a raging fire in October 30th, but we've got to put a line around this whole fire, regardless if it's burning or smoldering, what have you. It just takes time.
So we're right by Mount Wilson, or in Mount Wilson, on the Bobcat fire. This fire has grown to over 44,393 acres. We have 3% contained, and we have 1,158 firefighter personnel here on scene trying to contain this fire. So yesterday, it got very close to Mount Wilson. Flames approached almost close to 500 feet. So yesterday we had structured defense groups in place, making sure we could have a defensible space. That, along with air attack from our Firehawks and Type 1 and Type 2 helicopters coming in, dropping water drops, and having bulldozers there so we could make a more defensible space. The crews have been working on that area, making sure that the fire activity would not be as much in preparation for it. So they have done more defensible space around that Mount Wilson Observatory area in order to protect it. We got up pretty close during the station fire, and that was the last time that hasn't been burned in that area. We saved it during 2009 as well. It is very important infrastructure because it's infrastructure for radio, television, and cell phone. Some are doing 24s and some are doing 12s. So throughout the whole day, you're going to have 24 hours a day. You're going to have some firefighting personnel doing work on this fire. Just north of here, along the 2 freeway, they did put an evacuation order yesterday, and also on the bottom of the fire there was evacuation orders in the city of Arcadia and Sierra Madre. The fire still is a threat to those areas, so every foothill community along that side is still on evacuation warnings. No structures have been destroyed, but we will get a better idea after we do a footprint. At this point, no structures have been damaged, but we will have to do an evaluation after the fire is fully contained.
Fire patrol captain. So my job is enforcement and prevention and education. So a lot of what my job is in the forest is to protect the trees, bushes, and everything in the forest. A lot of the times what we're on, if you're committed to the fire, which I'm not, it just depends with what's going on right now. There's days I am committed to the fire, so we do 16 or 24-hour shifts. But right now I'm currently on patrol, so I'm issuing citations. I'm half law enforcement, so I help validate people understand what the restrictions are and make sure that they're safe and out of the forest because of the closure. I am on an 8-hour shift today. There's many people that are still coming up here because they refuse to read the signage, and the signage says to keep out and not to stop. The problem is it's for their safety to keep people out. The amount of resources we do have up here and the amount of priority that this is the hub of Southern California. I can tell you that the amount of resources we're going to have on it's going to be astronomical.
But yeah, we're trying to make it work, and it's not today, tomorrow. Yeah, we're just trying to balance it out. Okay.
Can you brief me about the fire situation? Sure.
Hi, are you the fire service? Oh, the fire service. You're not Rachel, are you? No. Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay.
So, are you somebody who can
There's a little flare on that top ridge if you want to zoom in on it.
No problem. I was looking at Mount Wilson, my backyard, Pasadena, but after
Hey, don't worry. You go there, they show you credential, you will do it. I go all the way there.
where's David? Oh my God, you came up.
we're gonna wrap it up right here. We're gonna go move to another location.
Sounds good.
Crescent 3.
Unless you want to know.
Allie.
I know he's at the bad. Let's go. Selfie, did you get that? With your phone? I know, this is the one real quick.
All right.